Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. It's the kind of rumor that sends shockwaves through the major leagues. And it's coming straight out of Los Angeles. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has reportedly made waves behind closed doors with a bombshell comment that veteran slugger Max Muncy might be contaminating the clubhouse. Now, before we all jump to conclusions, let's unpack what's being whispered among insiders and circulating in the hidden corners of the baseball world. When a respected manager like Roberts uses language that suggests internal decay, there's got to be more beneath the surface. Muncy has long been a fan favorite, known for his clutch home runs and gritty attitude. But something might be changing behind the scenes. These kinds of leaks don't just happen. They have purpose, and they almost always point to a deeper fracture. From the outside, the Dodgers look like a well-oiled machine, but sources close to the organization are hinting at internal strife, with Muncy's name unexpectedly at the center. This isn't about performance alone, it's about chemistry, leadership, and a possible negative influence in a clubhouse striving for unity. Could Max Muncy be the anchor dragging the team's spirit down? Or is this just a case of scapegoating in a season full of frustration? Now, let's be clear, Max Muncy isn't the villain, at least not publicly. The power-hitting infielder has given everything to the Dodgers organization, delivering in high-stakes moments and becoming a cornerstone of their recent success. But recent murmurs suggest that something in his demeanor, attitude, or interactions with teammates may have shifted. Reports indicate that Dave Roberts has grown increasingly concerned with Muncy's body language, his tone in meetings, and even the way he carries himself during slumps. Players go through rough patches all the time, but when a manager hints that one player is contaminating the environment, that's something different. That's not about slumps, that's about influence. Are young players mimicking a negative mindset? Is Muncy, perhaps unknowingly, becoming a source of tension among veterans and rookies alike? These are the kinds of questions that ripple through a clubhouse and eventually make their way into the media, of course. No one inside the Dodgers front office will confirm anything officially, but the chatter has already begun. Is it possible that Max Muncy has gone from hero to problem in the blink of an eye? Or is this simply the price of frustration in a clubhouse that expected dominance and is now grappling with underperformance and mounting pressure? In professional sports, chemistry is everything. Talent gets you far, but unity wins championships. That's why Dave Roberts' alleged comments about Muncy are hitting so hard in baseball circles. If there's truth to the rumor, it would suggest a serious disruption in the Dodgers' usually rock-solid culture. Muncy, known for his no-nonsense approach, might be coming off as abrasive or disengaged. One theory floating around is that younger players are intimidated by him, or worse, losing respect. And in a clubhouse filled with rising stars and new personalities, that could be a recipe for discord. Some insiders even speculate that Muncy is clashing with Roberts himself, a bold, unconfirmed possibility that would certainly explain the pointed remark. Imagine the dynamic: a star who feels he's earned the right to speak his mind, and a manager trying to maintain cohesion among egos and expectations. That tension, if left unchecked, could infect the locker room's atmosphere. The phrase contaminating the team carries heavy weight. It suggests more than just annoyance. It implies something systemic, something that could derail an entire season. And if Roberts did say it, even privately, it means the situation has reached a tipping point where silence is no longer an option. Of course, the Dodgers aren't new to dealing with big personalities. This is an organization that has managed egos, stars, and sky-high expectations year after year. But something about this situation feels different. Muncy isn't a rookie. He's not a fringe player trying to make his mark. He's a veteran, a guy with postseason pedigree and a strong fan following. Which raises the question, why would Roberts choose to single him out? Or if we're playing devil's advocate, why would someone leak that Roberts said such a thing? Could it be part of a larger plan to shake things up? Maybe it's a warning shot, meant to reassert control over the clubhouse dynamics. Or perhaps it's an early signal that Muncy could be on the trade block. That might sound crazy, but in Major League Baseball, perception often leads to action. If front office executives believe Muncy is no longer a cultural asset, his days in Dodger blue could be numbered. Fans won't want to hear it, but front offices make cold, calculated decisions. If Muncy's presence is seen as disruptive, the leash may be much shorter than expected. And leaks like this, they don't happen by accident, they're warnings. Wrapped in whispers. The timing of this rumor couldn't be more curious. The Dodgers are in a playoff race, trying to tighten up their pitching rotation, sort out the lineup card, and rally around a shared goal. Yet here we are, talking about locker room contamination, and Max Muncy, of all people, is at the center. One former player turned analyst suggested that Roberts might be frustrated with Muncy's influence on effort levels during practices and pre-game prep. There's speculation that the veteran's approach to daily routines might be rubbing off on others, maybe leading to complacency or a drop in intensity. In a game as unforgiving as baseball, where every pitch can define a season, that kind of cultural erosion is dangerous, and Roberts, who's built his reputation on culture-first leadership, may feel like he's losing control of that environment. If that's the case, then calling out or at least acknowledging the problem, even in vague terms, could be his way of taking back the reins, but this approach is risky. Calling out a player of Muncy's stature can either spark a resurgence or deepen the divide, and right now, nobody knows which direction things are heading. Let's not forget the human side of this. Max Muncy is a competitor. He's battled through injuries, criticism, and the unforgiving spotlight of Los Angeles baseball. To suggest that he's now a negative presence must be a gut punch to a guy who's given so much to the team. If he's heard the rumor, and let's be honest, he has, it could light a fire under him, or it could push him further into frustration. That emotional volatility is real, especially when someone feels misunderstood or unfairly targeted. Imagine walking into the clubhouse every day knowing there's a whisper campaign swirling around you. That wears on even the toughest athlete. And what about the rest of the roster? Younger players may start to distance themselves from Muncy, unsure of how to align their loyalties. Veterans may feel the need to pick sides. Suddenly, a tight-knit group becomes fragmented, and all of that because of one sentence, possibly said in a moment of honesty or exasperation by a manager trying to right the ship. It's the kind of moment that can define a season, either by tearing a team apart or pulling it closer together. But right now, the outcome is anything but clear. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. There's also the question of media management. If this story continues to grow, the Dodgers PR team will have a fire to put out. Do they issue a denial? Do they have Roberts clarify his comments, or even deny them altogether? Or do they let it simmer and hope the story fades away as the season progresses? These are high-stakes decisions in a media environment that thrives on drama. The longer the team stays silent, the more the narrative takes on a life of its own, and fans, they're watching closely. Muncy loyalists are already pushing back online, calling the rumor ridiculous and standing by their guy. Others are wondering, if there's smoke, maybe there's fire. It's the nature of modern sports coverage, where speculation often carries as much weight as fact. But perception shapes reality, and if this rumor keeps gaining traction, it could force the Dodgers' hand in ways they never intended. Sometimes stories like this start with a whisper and end with a trade, a resignation, or a cultural reset. And if Roberts really said what he's rumored to have said, he may have opened a Pandora's box that can't be closed quietly. Fans of the Dodgers are no strangers to turmoil. They've seen injuries, controversies, heartbreaking losses, and front office shakeups. But the idea that one of their trusted stars could be viewed as a contaminant is a new kind of drama. It challenges the narrative they've built around Muncy as a blue-collar, lunch-pail kind of player, the guy who grinds it out and delivers when it matters most. That image is now being questioned, and for a franchise that sells identity as much as success, that's a big deal. The Dodgers are more than just a baseball team. They're a brand, a standard, a model franchise. So when internal issues surface, especially ones involving beloved veterans, it threatens the very foundation of what they represent. And Dave Roberts, whether intentionally or not, has kicked over a hornet's nest with this alleged remark. Even if it was said in confidence, even if it was meant as a wake-up call, the fallout is real. Because once a player's name is linked to clubhouse issues, it rarely disappears. It lingers, it festers, and sometimes it becomes the first domino in a much larger fall. The baseball world is watching now. Every post-game interview, every on-field interaction, every dugout reaction involving Max Muncy will be scrutinized. Does he look engaged? Does he talk to teammates? Does Roberts show signs of frustration or distance? These are the clues that fans and media alike will dissect endlessly, and Muncy, whether he likes it or not, is under a microscope. That kind of attention can either spark a defiant turnaround or deepen the wedge between player and team. Roberts, meanwhile, will be asked, maybe not directly, but certainly in subtext, whether his comment, if true, reflects a wider dissatisfaction. Is Muncy the only concern, or just the first to be exposed? That's the slippery slope of this kind of rumor. It doesn't just affect the person at the center. It shakes the entire structure. Other players might wonder who's next. Coaches might start policing behavior more closely. The entire vibe shifts. What was once an easygoing professional clubhouse becomes tight, cautious, and suspicious. And in a sport that demands confidence and clarity, that's a dangerous place to be, especially for a team with World Series aspiration and no room for distractions. So where do the Dodgers go from here? That's the million-dollar question. Do they rally round Muncy and prove the narrative wrong? Do they pull him aside, address the concerns, and work through it as a unified team? Or do they explore the unthinkable, moving on from one of their core pieces? Each path comes with risk, loyalty versus leadership, stability versus change. No matter what, the Dodgers are at a crossroads. If this rumor dies down and the team starts winning again, maybe this will all be forgotten. But if the losing continues and the chemistry continues to fray, this could be the moment people point back to as the beginning of the unraveling. In baseball, timing is everything. A slump at the wrong moment can cost a season. A fractured clubhouse at the wrong time can cost a dynasty. And Dave Roberts, knowingly or not, may have just put his foot on the gas of something far bigger than one player. Whether it was frustration, strategy, or truth, the comment has changed the conversation around the Dodgers, and until that gets resolved, this team's biggest opponent might not be on the field but in its own dugout. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.